Okay. So now, Dullahan.
Hey,
Let's check out its stats and stuff.
good tactical throwaway topic. We talk about the Dullahan after the patch notes to make everybody sit through to hear about our Dullahan takes. Unless you're on YouTube, we smart. I see you, Magnum. It's all good. All right, game recognized game.
I mean, hey, we still haven't actually talked about the buffs notes, so we can, if we want to use that tactic, we can talk about the buffs and nerfs
We
first.
could. Let's start talking
Nope,
about
Dullahan.
the boss.
Dullahan, let's go.
I don't know. I'm suddenly typing backwards to put in buffs / nerfs.
Oh no!
No, we can go ahead and do the Dullahan.
I guess for future reference, right?
That's a great idea.
I mean, I think buffs and nerfs are pretty intense. Maybe not the ones that happened a month ago. But...
And I don't know if this is how it was last year, but this is another one of those things where like there's so much stuff thrown out around the banner suit that like even though the banner suit is pretty monstrous, there's a lot more interesting shit to look at besides the suits.
Yeah, for real. Well, now the buffs and nerfs are actually pretty substantial because before it was like, oh look, they gave leg buffer 3 or something, guys.
Boost.
Quick
they have
leg.
gotten a bit better since those
cushion.
days.
Like these buffs this time around too are fantastic. Just saying. But anyway, Dullahan, what do we got for stats?
Yep. Well, let's scroll back up. I have a few comparison pages up for reference. But it's a raid, and it has ground environment preference, no water. It's a 400 cost. We only got one level of it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
the suit has... Yes, sad face. The suit has 14,000 HP. Ammo and beam correction is... or ballistic and beam correction is 12. Melee resistance is 18. It has 20 in both melee and range modifier. 115 speed. Boost speed is 200. Thrusters is 65. That's 5 less than the Mark II. Cubulate it is. Turning speed is 57 on ground, 51 in space, and I'm not sure how that factors into shield. Unfortunately, it has level 3 melee priority. Part slots are 12 top slots, 9 medium, and 7 bottom slots or range slots. It has the same melee fall off on its attacks as the Keyblade Mark II. So like first attack is 100%, second is 80, third is 64% damage. Down or modifiers stay the same, which is interesting on neutral and side attack. So 100% 75. Downswing is 150 compared to 130 though. One other interesting note that I don't think they really mention, but the Dullahan has the same speed of backing, or it's the same backup speed as it has strafing speed.
Okay, that's cool.
It's 80. According to this, it's 80%.
We know if the guard custom has the same thing like that.
I looked at that actually. I'm glad you asked. It does not. Okay. It is actually slower. I can't tell the exact number because Google Translate's weird, and unfortunately, if you don't have like a certain number, it just translates into like poor. But the guard custom is not as fast at backing up. And it's hard to tell. I was actually looking at the Akazaku. And Akazaku's 100% in all directions. So that's pretty noticeable. Which is a pretty interesting thing.
What's the weapon?
So yeah, this is it. Let's make sure I'm on the right page. The Dullahan uses the hyper bazooka.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. And it also uses the hyper beam rifle. Which is this the... Here we go.
Wait,
okay.
hyper beam rifle?
Yeah.
Which one's that? Is it
It's
just the
the
normal one?
beam rifle that the Gundam Unit 5 and 4 uses,
Oh, that thing. Okay, yeah. That's kind of
which I
cool.
think is pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I could
that's
take either or.
especially at its cost. Yeah,
Yeah,
at its cost, that's a pretty strong weapon. I feel anyway.
yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Um, what about? I mean, I'm guessing it does. Is it the same weapon as the G-line assault? Is it just the same stats, or is it a different weapon?
You're talking about the melee.
Yeah.
It's the same one.
Okay.
Yeah, heat lance for assault armor.
And
So
then
that should be the same. Although I haven't had a chance to see it, but I heard that the melee attacks are different. It's not the same ones
Mhm.
that the G line assault uses.
It's
does it
not.
does it still do the same downswing or?
I've heard it's not the case.
Okay.
No, it's
Somebody
not.
said,
It is a
"Oh, what
thrust,
is
but
it?"
it doesn't like yeet.
Oh, okay. Somebody said, "Oh, I think somebody said it's similar to the fading," but uh, I'm trying to. I can't remember exactly what it was
So like
compared to.
smack down, swipe, and then there's a forward thrust, but it just doesn't like make you travel. If
Okay.
it's like the
Or
same.
maybe better to say it's like the GM spear or something like that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
could make sense. Um, and then it has. Is it the? Does it have Vulcans?
it does. But real quick, you can also use the bullpup machine gun. Just
You
figured I'd put that out there for all the DACA fans.
gotta
But
charge.
yes, it does have. Or was that good sub?
Let's say it. I'm pretty sure you already mentioned it, but at least I charge beam.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The charge beam is nice. Um,
But the Vulcans are
but
not the same kind of Vulcans that the custom has, right?
it doesn't have the shoulder Vulcans, no, but it does have the shield Vulcans.
Okay. So that was gonna be the next
Um,
question.
Let me look at the stats between the two real fast. That is the Axaku. Here it is. Find out it doesn't use the
Got the guard
silly.
custom up, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've got the stats. Yeah. So you actually have less bullets. You have 60 compared to 90. The guard custom gets.
Ooh.
Um, you have a slower reload than the guard custom. It's 2 seconds longer. Switch time is faster. It readies up in half a second compared to 0.8. You have 50 more range in the guard custom. Mm. Stagger value is also 1% higher. Oh, interestingly enough, though, the guard custom shield fires like 2 rounds, whereas the G line does not.
Hmm.
It fires 1,
Hmm.
according to this, anyway.
Okay, so what's the skills?
Sorry, I had to keep making sure I'm on the right page. So it has oh, that's the hanger. I was like, that's a weird skill. Okay. It has balancer, force injection 1, AMBAC, high spec AMBAC, combo controller level 1, maneuver armor 2, explosive reactive armor, and level 1 damage control.
Okay, so it has explosive reactive over the custom. It has maneuver 2 instead of 1. You actually have force injector, which results may vary. And you said
Or if you're are you talking about the assault armor custom, because it has explosive reactive too.
I'm talking about guard custom.
Oh, guard custom has explosive reactive as well.
Negative.
Or either that, or I'm thinking about the
Anti-blast.
one for, yeah, I might be thinking of anti-blast actually. Okay.
So it has anti-blast, where I guess that doesn't. So if a suit explodes near you, then oops. But
Mhm.
Anti-blast is super relevant too. That sucks.
they both
really
have
is.
damage control 1 though, at least. So
Hmm.
I mean, I'm definitely making a lot of comparisons to the guard custom because it exists in the same cost. But I mean, so does the G line
For
assault.
sure.
The thing is, the G line assault, if it still had the spear thrust, then I would say you could compare it more to the G line assault.
Yeah.
But sadly, with the spear thrust not being there, then it's kind of just like if you did, neutral side neutral if
Yeah.
you were playing the
I
G line
think
assault.
between the three, the assault just has the better balance of things it can do at any given time.
Hmm.
But
Agreed.
if you like the flavor of the custom, then this gives you a little bit more range on your melee, while also allowing you to do charge shots, and just generally your other weapons are more reliable, while still having that output. It's
Well,
kind
How
of
do
a
you think
shame
if you're running a hyper?
Heroicans, so like you don't have that to lead up into, but I guess that's where you're supposed to use like your charge shot and stuff to make up for that, depending on what weapon you whip out.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I think if you're on a hyper beam rifle, you could
Mm.
almost argue that you kind of have
I
a
mean, shit, if
similar
it's the hyper, then
style.
that's like an even better output in general.
Yeah.
You're just hitting
Yeah, like the
more
hyper beam
range.
rifle collapse.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good trade-off. I'd take that.
So, in my opinion here on this, I think it's almost the better of the three in some ways, but
Mhm.
I think, so I think it could be a meta raid at this point. The G line assault definitely is a meta raid at this point, and the guard custom, though, sadly, I think falls a bit short. I do like its shoulder gatlings because I can pretty much treat it like a GBO2, and that's pretty
Yeah.
much how I play the guard custom. The only thing is you don't have the beam bazooka to actually stagger instantly, and that's kind of the benefit of this. So it's like you trade
Mm.
off the super stagger buildup of the Vulcans for super stagger, or for just an insta stagger, or a charge up insta stagger,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
You
then
also
you
just have
have.
more reach in general with that lance.
And I was gonna say, and then you got the better reach. Damage wise, though, if the lance is the exact same,
It
we
would
are
just come down to
looking.
modifiers.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're about the same damage, so you get a little bit more reach for the same damage, which is pretty cool. Stats wise, I will point it out that the guard custom has similar resistances to that, and has actually more health. So pretty much, I've already pretty much talked about the guard custom when we saw them add levels. If somebody gets behind that shield and gets to hit you, you're just dead.
Yeah.
And if you have less health than the guard custom, that's going to be this thing's weak point. Is if they just get
Mhm.
behind your shield and just look at you, you're going to explode. So that's kind of a bummer.
One real notable thing too, the Dullahan is faster and and slightly more maneuverable than the guard or the G line assault armor. It has that ground specialization where the assault armor does
Yeah.
not. Um,
Oh,
and just boosting, you're faster than the guard custom. And I mean the benefits that you get for being on the ground, you're like more efficient with your thrust, and you turn faster, and whatnot as well. So
Yeah.
you're gonna be you're gonna be more efficient doing stuff in that suit, from a kind of like gameplay standpoint.
Mm.
okay. Yeah, sorry.
Like
I thought it
it
was
doesn't
space
have Hades, but
specialization.
it's ultimately still a Pale Rider suit in
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
regard.
once that shield breaks, it's pretty much like Hades is on.
minus
Without
the
the
extra
drone
damage.
back even.
And yeah, without
Yeah.
the. Yeah. So there you go.
Break it, bitch.
Actually, that's
See what
pretty cool.
happens.
Yeah, for real though. Okay, that changed my mind a little bit because I was gonna be like, I feel like it's just gonna get super clapped real quick. But
Mhm.
if it's a little bit faster, especially at these lower costs like this, a little extra speed is a big game changer.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure those stats though are base, like not including the shield. Like I'm sure when you include the shield, it'll it'll probably definitely be slower.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends on how much the ground specialization makes up for it because it is relevant. So
Okay, so
It's
that's pretty cool.
fine.
Either way, though, if you get knocked down and your back is exposed, you're probably dead.
oh yeah.
That is kind of the sad thing with that. Because the guard custom actually has one less in both ballistic and beam, but it has
Mhm.
more, like 2 or 3 more melee res just naturally. So
But you should just be playing the G line light armor anyway.
I mean, that's kind of the yeah. So I'm curious if
Yeah.
this thing can compete with the G line light, or oh, you said light. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, the light armor just has that balance anyway. If you're looking for something that's a bit more generalized, then that was your pick from the start.
yeah. And you can boost and fire the missiles, which we
Mhm.
kind of talked about how awesome that is earlier.
Now you have
Oh
this
yeah.
Dullahan running around that you have more surface area to hit with those
Ah,
two.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see though. I pretty much main the G line assault at this cost for.
Mm.
I really need to play more of the light though. I definitely need to get better at that. I just suck with the
The
missiles.
light's really good.
But yeah,
It's an angry Alex at lower cost.
pretty much.
It's fun to mess with.
Angry Alex.
Do you like the Dwodge? Dwodge is always fun at that cost. But I actually here's a good point. I find this kind of funny that we've been talking about like the G line assault, the G line light, and then possibly the guard custom every now and then, but definitely
Mm.
this one's probably better than the custom since it has a little bit more speed and maneuverability. But haven't mentioned the BD2. Feels bad, man.
I think it's just kind of a constant. And the people that are good with it are definitely going to still keep clapping you, but it has fallen off a little bit. But I think
it's still
like both of those have a solid kit on them. You talk about the missile barrage, you don't really have to worry about the charge beam unless you really want to. Stuff like that. Has the better system between them. This is just exam. Still gonna bust your everything, but at least you're not getting hit for.
The 2 is probably favored overall, though. The missiles would punch right through that shield. I think. I'm pretty sure even with damage control, you have enough missiles to stagger it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Like I said, just more surface area, so you just smack the shit out of it and then get around it.
Oh yeah,
In fact,
that's
if you
right. It has 6.
well enough, like you could actually pass it mid stun and then just swing around and smack it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
I mean, we'll probably see everybody scrounging back up their Freets and their VDs as well. So you're probably just gonna get freaking owned. So
it'll be a lot of back and forth, but that's just what the meta is. But it's cool that when we talk about people scooping up their old suits to kind of counter it, because there are things that can just do it to this thing. Like it'll be cool to see how long those stick around after people calm down in the Dullahan, since it is a free one.
You see VDs, yeah. Oh yeah, everyone's gonna have it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess final thoughts on the Dullahan.
It's cool.
I like it. A lot of people were talking about how it's weird that it doesn't have multiple levels, but I feel like when we talk about people scrounging up suits to kind of fuck with it now, like that's just for one cost.
Yeah.
Lord knows if you got
for sure.
up another cost, like it would be having even more trouble. So like it's fair that they kind of kept it at 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
It might bump it up in the future, but like just to have people focus on that one cost is probably for the best for now.
For real, 450, man. The camphor would look at this thing and be like, "Ooh, a snack."
Oh yeah, for real. Like the other thing too, I didn't really know all the weapons and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's got a bazooka. Well, that's kind of insane. The ability to use a bazooka and have this shield. I mean, I think that's my big takeaway. Is it's got a bazooka or that beam rifle, and it can have a shield that is that big, and it can have the nice melee range, which is pretty much.
The thing is that makes it its own counter, because all you have to do is splash damage is like pinky toe on the other side, and they're just going to be trading like that.
Pretty much. But like it has, well, I mean, it does have the blast stable or the anti-blast, so if you just try to hit next to it, you actually have to hit it. So that is one big difference.
Right.
So, oh yeah, explosive reactive armor.
Yeah, whereas like the guard custom, you just got to hit next to it, and then you're like, haha, I got you. Whereas this, you have to actually stagger it.
For explosive reactive, I figured it was just like the certain grade of the weapon you're hitting them to. So like bazookas would still do it, but like grenade launchers, for example, won't.
Oh no,
explosive reactive,
it's all of them. It's cannons, it's anything. You have to actually hit the target directly. That's why in the bazooka meta, that's when the armor GM dropped at 250. That's why it was just like the most overpowered thing at that point. And when they gave explosive reactive to the Dom Barrage, I was just like, I am a god, come at me, bazooka users. Because that was still
the barrage needed it though. Like,
oh yeah,
for real.
I mean, even then, it's still fat enough that it's like, how did you miss me?
Everything was like, it was like the mini barn door. It wasn't quite the size of the Zamel, but it was still getting hit a lot.
I mean, exactly. So I was just like, even when I use it though, I'd always think back. I'd be like, yeah, explosive reactive, I'm OP. But then I always think a little bit in the back of my head, like, wait, how did he miss?
Yeah. Stop missing me, damn it. Trying to show off this armor.
Get good. But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of my takeaway. Just having that extra stagger ability on the suit and having the explosive, I think it kind of fixes some of the problems from the guard custom, and it fixes a little bit of the problems
Oh,
from the
yeah.
assault. But I still think the assault probably is the superior overall because you just have that cannon from so far away.
It just has a more consistent kit.
Yeah, so I'm curious though. I definitely want to play it now. So I might just grind it out tonight.
Dun, dun,
I'm still
dun.
gonna say I think it kind of comes down to preference and playstyle. I think the hyper beam rifle,
For sure.
that makes a good variant to the cannon that targets a defense that a lot of suits don't have built up very well at that cost. So
At
I
a range
personally
that
think
you
it would be a
normally
toss up.
wouldn't have to play with a suit like that too. That's pretty cool.
It's always
Because you
nice
pretty
to
much
see.
walk around with a Goku beam rifle.
Yeah. A better one in some cases, depending on who you
Yeah,
ask.
I would think so too.
But yeah, it's cool to see some good diversity in raid suits. Just saying. Need more 200 cost ones.
200s in the game? They have suits that low?
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad.
Do we? I know it's not like a subject, but do we feel like because they do put 200 maps in rotation? Do we feel like that's actually starting to fall off like some of the other like 150 and 100 stuff that they just kind of threw in for shits and giggles?
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I mean, like right now, there was a 200 lobby up, and I was like, okay, Alshi, what are we queuing for? This was like yesterday, and it's like, okay, let's queue for this. Nope, nobody's here. Oh, let's queue for this. Nobody's here. Okay, Ghost of Tsushima. Like,
People don't like low cost, but it's I think it's because it runs into the same problems that you see at 650. The game just doesn't support it, so nobody wants to play it.
pretty much.
I mean, also with the fact that I think the game runs better or feels better at higher cost. Like, for some people, you got to find that middle ground where it's like 400, 450 is just like chef's kiss, feels just right. But everything's just kind of clunky.
See, I kind of like the
there are
slower
people who
stuff.
will dodge low cost.
Yeah,
Oof.
but I like slow combat. Again, I mentioned this before, so I won't go into it too much. But like just Chrome Hounds, I love Chrome Hounds. And then so that was always slow paced combat. So like playing anything from 200 to 300 is pretty cool. And the 350 is kind of starting to get faster. 400 is where that middle ground is, like you said. I think 400 is kind of like the sweet spot. If you're looking for a little of both, there you go. And then once you get to like 500 and up, you're like, okay, we are in fast pace. Let's go. And then 650 right now is just like zoom zoom.
Anime Janai.
Pretty much.
It's real, or it's real life.
Yeah,
what
definitely not an
translates
anime.
Okay, so last thing to cover, and then we'll just go straight into what we think the next suit's going to be and wrap up. So I'm actually going to change the topic to buffs and nerfs.
to.
So real quick, just to go over them, I'll go over them real quick on what happened last month on their buffs and nerfs. And they keep doing this like once a month buff and nerf thing. I think they're just going to keep doing this every month. They're going to do a set of buffs.
Right, like the overhauls are kind of interesting because it was like they were staggered out so much that that's kind of what they felt like. But if they regulate it or make it a normal thing, that'll be even better.
Yeah, and they keep showing the adjustment on how it affected the win rate. So Zaku Desert Type was one of my picks. Is like this is why did it need a buff, and this is going to be a gross thing now, because it was already good. And yeah, what a surprise! Now it's up to 49% win rate from 45%. The average at that cost for general players is 50%. And honestly, I think it was just a case of people weren't playing the suit, and because the sortie rate that they showed here is 1.59% sortie rate, and then it went up to 8.79. So they got more consistent data of it winning more and having more everything. rival win rate, damage, the loss rate went up. So everything was good. Apparently, though, at level 2 at 250, the damage started going down, which I could see at other costs. It starts decreasing. Surprisingly enough, at 300, it apparently went up, which is why I want to look. If they did anything specific for level 3 and up, but no, it looks like they didn't. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, and if you guys, I'll just keep going. If you guys have any hot takes for any of these, just let me know. But that was pretty cool. Gaza Sea, we interested in that one?
Yeah, Gaza Sea.
Oh, yeah, you're looking at last week, right?
Yeah. This is last month's.
Or last month, yeah.
Yeah. So the Gaza Sea, 6% increase in its win rate from 40 to 46.
Yeah.
And just to kind of go over real quick, the Zaku Desert type, by the way, got health, 750.
Yep.
Got increased damage for its firing, so by 5%. Got 5 speed at levels 1 to 3, and they added the optimized cooling efficiency level 1 to the suit entirely, which is actually kind of insane.
Definitely feels better to run. I was doing that, I think yesterday. I got a pretty decent match in.
Yeah, so I thought about
more smooth to run.
Like right now at 200 cost, I don't really play any general, but I think that's my 200 cost general now for sure. But the Gaza Sea, really interesting though. It did go up. What a surprise! The suit was bad to start with.
That scared the shit out of me.
But yeah, 1,000 health.
The general or the raid version?
What?
The general or the raid version?
Oh,
you're talking about. Sorry, I was thinking Drosy. I heard. I just heard something C, so I was thinking of Drosy. Keep going.
But the Gaza Sea, so the play rate. Here's the funny part: the sortie rate for the level 1 version went to 1.91% from 0.32. So people knew the first one was bad, or the initial version of it was bad. And the play rate of the 451 is 0.11%. That's big feels bad. Going up to 0.76%. So even then, its damage went up at both by about 10,000. Its win rate went up by 6%. The average is 49%, and they're both at 46%. Now, and its rival win rate went from 27 and 28%, which that stat didn't surprise me, up to 43%. So these are some significant number increases, which it definitely needed. It got its Gaza Sea Knuckle Buster increased its focus fire. So yeah, it does a ton of damage. I don't know, Gustav, have you noticed how much damage you do to a raid now when you charge that thing up? I've just been doing an overheat build with the Gaza Sea now.
Yeah, I mean, it's slapped before, but man.
Yeah, I'm like
it actually makes me like more willing to like slow roll and charge it flying just so that I can make sure I pin it on somebody.
Oh yeah, as soon as I hit a raid with that, I've been hitting like 6k, somewhere around there. It's pretty gross. But it got more health, more thrusters. They increased the power of its beam gun when you transform, and you can only use that in the transform mode, by 20, and it has a lot of shots, so there you go. And it decreased the overheat time, so you can actually overheat it now and use it the next time you transform, which is pretty nice. And it can actually stagger, or maybe not. I still haven't staggered anybody with it, but apparently it can. So, yeah. Zogok, we kind of talked about it already, but they did buff it again. Its win rate was not in to par, but looks like it brought it up to par with the buffs. Damage didn't really go up too much because they didn't really do too much for its damage. They just made the arm punch be able to combo a little faster, which I think the new level that they added definitely needs that for sure. But Gundam Unit 4 BST, we all already talked about how insane that was because we got to play it for a day and it's just gross. What a surprise. The damage went up by a crazy amount. The win rate also went up. Sadly, though, not by much. That's actually kind of an interesting one because I find the suit to be awesome now. You guys have any guesses on that one? Because I was expecting it would be closer to par, and it only went up by 2% from 43 to 45 instead of 48.
Sorry, I was getting data for this month's buffs. Which suit again?
The Unit 4 BST. Because it got that crazy amount of damage. It got even more movement speed, thrusters. The force injector went from level 1 to level 2. The focus time for that giant mega beam is only 3.5 seconds, and again, the damage is insane. Like, it is the superior damage mega beam launcher now. Period.
I mean, it could just be that the boys like to slap. To quote Jonah, he plays King of Fighters, not Call of Duty when he plays Battle Operation.
I will say they don't have one stat, which is what I'm wanting to see here, is how many people actually played the suit and how many people they didn't put the sortie rate after the other suits, which I guess they were just like, yeah, we don't want to show this off.
I wish they did. I made a comment about that when I was looking at the patch. And I was like, how come we don't get the usage data for the methods?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's probably the opposite of what they said for one of the other suits, or one of the other changes that they did in the. Like, it was just probably so overwhelmingly like shit. They were like, yeah, we're gonna have to just change this a little bit.
This one. But
they should be open with that data though. If they're gonna show it for one thing, they need to show consistent data for all suits.
Yeah, like for instance, here's the sortie rate for just going back to the Zogok. People apparently want to try to play. Oh yeah, never mind. It's a water suit. This was the water update, wasn't it?
So it makes sense that there's a fluctuation.
Yeah, so in that case, it went from 1.9% to 10%, but that's because water map came out. So I think that point really doesn't make much sense. But that did you just say Adult Swim?
Yes.
Nice. But like in this case though, you get a 10% usage and you have a more consistent data point of like 49%. I just wonder if there was 10% usage before, it would be closer to that number, because the Zogok isn't bad at its base cost. It's actually pretty good. But anyway, the BST, kind of weird that they don't show that number, but okay, no big deal. Raid stuff, Agugai, it got nerfed. Now this is what I was really interested in more than anything else. 51% win rate still over the average. 51, 54. Wow, it's actually at 350. It has even a higher win rate. Like, oh, sorry, no, it's all 51 now. My bad. I misread. Yeah, it's still pretty dumb. The rival win rate still hasn't moved. It actually went up in the base cost in 300 case and barely went down at 350. So, I mean, literally, in my opinion, the only thing that can compete with it is the Akai. Now is about the only thing you can use against it.
Yeah, I can see that. Which, I mean, it's got a decent kit. That guy can definitely make it happen, but still.
Rangers is so relevant.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's but kind of interesting that they just nerfed the health on it. I was kind of expecting a little more, but
unless they nerf the damage to the ground, what else can they do?
Yeah.
Take away its dodge roll or something?
I mean, I guess they thought, hey, the nerfing the health by 2k fixed the DS, so it worked once.
Yeah, the DS can't reach halfway across the screen though.
That's true.
It definitely tries. I don't know. I feel like I still see it consistently just because, like, the whole shotgun follow-up thing is still pretty strong on top of its popping smoke. So I know people like to talk about, oh yeah, the DS, it's fallen off, and it has to a certain degree, but I feel like it's still prominent.
Should I still play it?
Yeah. Like, it's in there. I had to deal with it all the time. And like, there's one on my team right now.
So with the Zogok now, I'm kind of surprised we see the numbers move, because I still don't see hardly any of them. I know there was definitely more, so that maybe that's why at base cost it went up to 46%. But for the most part, they barely went up or down on anything. So
for the standard Zogok?
Yeah. So
it's because that suit blows.
I mean, at 350, its damage actually went down. So what I'm guessing is more people played it, and
Mhm.
You know, the
They don't know what they're
average.
doing,
Definitely
and they
for the
realize the
water,
suit's
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
the damage went down at all cost actually, even though it technically got a buff, even though the damage didn't move at all, but the damage went down by a
Mhm.
significant number, which again, I guess is just because people are playing the aquatic suits now. And you know, its win rate shouldn't change much because the suit they didn't really buff it that.
No.
Unit
Like, I've
5.
enjoyed my time in it, but, like, anytime I get the chance to run the E for, like, water stuff, it's definitely, like, a night and day difference.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. But the Unit 5 BST, of course, they upped the melee damage for some reason. And you know, they gave it melee resist increase by a decent amount, 6%. Movement speed went up by 5, and thrusters went up by 5. And so with the damage increase, you can see a significant amount of win rate. It's actually over the average now at 50.4% from, and the average is 49.5. Win rate against rival went up, and 63,000 damage from 58,000 damage. Pretty significant there. Yeah, I mean it claps. Like I hit even generals for like 3,000 per swing with the BST. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, melee damage is good. Same for the Zagok. You know, when you get in there, it slaps hard. But unlike the Zagok, the BST has the better tools to be able to get in there.
Yeah. Here's one that we were like, why did they buff this? Because it's already good. The Juagu. Again, I thought it was really solid. Now everything it has stat wise is a little bit above average. Looks like, or close to. It's either average or a little above average. There's very few things that's just below.
Baby Elephant could have used some love.
Yeah. Elephant could always use some love until you get those missiles on you, and then you're like, just get this thing out of my
I know.
face.
I mean, they buffed him. They buffed him. They gave him 25
I
damage
mean,
per shot.
do they have the percent usage data? Like,
No, they don't have that either. But still, it
That
was
should be
still
one they did it
49.
for, though.
It was still 49.5% to 51% average, 51.5 average, and then now it's 51.1 average at its base cost.
Mm.
So
people are definitely using it a lot more. I don't think the addition hurt, because I mean the Juagu is one of those kind of like, for lack of a better term, blow your load suits, and then
Oh,
you're
yeah.
kind of just done. You know,
Waddling in despair.
hey, you have
yeah,
you
you're
have
kind of
melee
just like,
priority 2 for some reason.
It is kind of funny. I like that
Chop!
it has that. They should do that more often.
You know, they could give it to actual melee centered supports.
Full
Lamau.
Lamau.
I will say though, it felt pretty good getting the full armor 7th and the full custom in like 2 single spins. That was great. That's where my luck went.
That still needs a 2. For sure.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the full armor 7th, it got buffed. And here's my predictions. Even though I just saw some of the numbers actually say it went up, I'm gonna guess it didn't go up by much.
Right, just like not enough.
Because the leg missile pods, it did the grenade launcher, which is great. That's fantastic. Now that I got the 650 version, I've been playing it. It's fun, but yeah. The leg missiles, though, actually cause some flinch, but the thing is you got to hit. They're a little bit slower. I wish they would speed up the... Oh my gosh, it actually says increase projectile speed in this buff. Great.
Hey, let's go.
But anyway, they need to do that again. Maybe twice.
Do it harder.
Still too slow.
If it was slower than that, I didn't realize it was that slow, but if it was slower than me playing it here the other day...
That's something for sure.
Oof. So, let's see. Damage actually went down at its base cost. And then at 600, this was before we had the 650, damage went up. Cool. Rival win rate actually went up, probably because people are just playing it. And win rate went up because people are just playing it. But looks like they both met their average, or are higher than average. No, except for the base cost. The base cost isn't. But I feel like more people are using the MLRS, though, at base cost, and that's probably why.
Perfectly balanced.
Entirely viable.
Since like the MLRS is now in the ticket shop and most everybody who plays support has an MLRS now, I feel like that's the problem with 550 right now and any of those stats. But when you start looking at 600, it goes up, and I feel like that's just because people might not have, like, say, the MLRS at 600. So That's what I'm going to go with that one. But it definitely is doing better at 600. Looks like than 550. But yeah, that was what happened because of the buffs last month. And finally, this month. So GBO1, 1000 HP at all levels, and increased the resistant for lower melee attacks. So
That's badly worded, by the way. They just
yeah.
increased the damage modifier.
Yeah, that means the downswing does more damage.
10% more per swing, but is what that means.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's 200 overall, but it was 180 before. Now it's 200%.
Oh, that's insane. Oh man, that thing's actually kind of gross now.
That's extreme.
As far as I mean, again, we can check the win rate stats. I guess we won't go over it too much unless they're just insanely low. But I feel like this is one of the cases of just people aren't playing this suit as much because the Mark II exists and people just got used to playing the Stamen. And everybody that I talk to still is like, the GBO1 sucks. And I'm like, did you know it got buffed?
Are you sure about
that? And you know,
it's funny. It's funny because the Stamen has, like, just to spoil a little bit, the Stamen has worse win L than the GBO1 does.
Really? Ooh.
Yep, but you'll get there in a second, I suppose.
But I mean, well, I was about to say, I'm curious to see the win rate because I think that 01 is a better all-around suit at this point. I'm just saying, with the damage of the beam rifle, what they did, and the changes with that, upping the ammo, and just all the extra benefits. I don't know. I like the 01 right now. As just, I mean, I don't play either of them really, but
I'd like to know
seeing
like
teammates.
how many of the like dedicated Stamen players have actually switched to the 01 again, just because they have like better stuff to mess around with now than before. Like back in the day, it was the more obvious choice between the two, but it's obviously not like that anymore.
Yeah, the nature of the game is definitely adjusted for sure.
Well, and back to the whole how many people go to the website. Again, I see a lot of comments about the GBO1 just being bad, and I'm like, did you know
really?
the ammo of the gun got increased? When? What? You know. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah.
So they don't even know the changes, let alone what they've seen on the field.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of people that already know about the changes, but they still just don't like the suit.
Right.
But so fair enough. But at the same time, every now and then I do get the comment of like, wait, really? There was buffs?
Right.
And it's like, yeah, there's been like, I think this is the third time they buffed it now. So it's like,
yeah, it's not like that. I can look real quick.
They're definitely working on it. It's pretty cool. But yeah, going to the Stamen. Oh.
Yeah, it's the third buff.
Third buff, yeah.
Yeah.
So like the Stamen, it's 45% win rate instead of 47, so fair enough.
I'd love to see, I don't know if they mention it. Does it say the range at which this data is from? Like, is it from existence until now data, or is it like from a particular starting point, I wonder?
I remember when they started doing these, they kind of described how they do it, but
yeah, I can't remember.
Isn't it like B+ and up, or I mean, who knows? It might even be A- now and up. But
oh yeah,
Right.
they do use a certain
Specifics or
rating.
ratings, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like B+ and up, or A- and up probably now, and yeah, I don't know if it's overall like, you know, within the past month or something. Well, I gonna say if you want to somebody wants to try to track that down, we can. But
it'd be appreciated.
Anyway, the GBO3 though got a buff as well. It got 1000 health at all levels. Level 2 got its bazooka increased by 110, and then the other levels got that as well. The bazooka at all levels got its cooldown time reduced by 0.7, so it's 6 seconds. That's always nice. I can't stand any of the bazookas that take 7 seconds to fire, or almost.
Yeah.
Increased the accumulated value of staggering, so cool.
That's up from 50% to 70.
Oh, that's significant.
Oh, for sure.
That's pretty nice. because
You'll love the Nemo. Wait till we get to the
oh
Nemo.
yeah, no, I know about the
Oh,
Nemo.
yeah,
I know.
man.
I was like gushing about that for
We were
20
flipping
minutes.
about, 'cause we were all in a group chat. We were
Yeah.
flipping out this yesterday.
By the way, just on a side note, just random tangent. It was hilarious to see who was on. I was like, so who's on right now? Trying to finish this Genshin stuff, and I see, wait, is Gustav really the only one playing Gundam right now?
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh, nobody else.
Because like I was like, thankfully Gecko scenarios are really short, so I should be able to get this one done and knock it out, and I'll actually be on time today. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Where'd everybody go? Hello, Bueller.
Yeah, then I get on like
Nobody was on, and I was the only one.
I got on like at 12:20. Like there was like 40 minutes left till Banner, and then Chad hops on and we played like one game, and then Gustav hops in like honk, and I'm like, hey Gustav, by the way, and yeah, so that was good. But it was hilarious. Everybody was just not, and I'm like, I'm surprised. Like the entire time, I kept looking at the clock, like, oh my gosh, I need to switch. And then I started looking. I'm like, I'm surprised. Today's the Halloween patch. Is everybody just planning on staying up till 4 a.m. though? I guess. But yeah. So
Sorry, rated.
oh, the Stamen also got 5 shots in its beam rifle, which that's why I'm so happy the bazooka stagger rate got up, because if something's coming at you and you just shoot it, you just pop it once with the beam rifle, and I think that's a stagger, isn't it? Or how close is that, Emblem?
It is, yeah. Beam rifle is 35%.
Yeah, so that's insane. So instead of having to hit all 3 shots, now you've got 5 shots to hit 3 shots, that's a big deal. So
Feels good, man.
really curious to see which one comes out on top next month in these stats, because I think both suits now are back in to competition with the Mark II. Yeah, feels good. And the Nemo, which yeah, 48% win rate to 49 and 47. That's kind of surprising. I figured it'd be a lot less, to be honest. But this is probably one of those cases where the few people who play it really well. And yeah, so level 2 got increased health by 1,000. Level 2 also got its range modifier increased by 7. And here we go, the big change that just makes it awesome. It is now a general weapon rack, essentially, because I'm just going to skip to the bottom thing. Expanded the blast range at the time of impact, so you can actually stagger people pretty consistently now. It pretty much feels like a weapons rack.
Damage.
I haven't tested it.
Real.
Yeah, for real. I haven't tested it, but I haven't tested it comparing it to the weapons rack, but it felt like a weapons rack just firing it. I was like, okay, we good. I like this suit now.
I will add the other thing that you might find cool. The cannon, the old stagger rate was 0%, by the way. Now it's 80.
What?
Hell yeah.
What? Okay, so what other weapons does it have? Wait, what other weapons does it have?
It has a Vulcan and grenade,
right? Yeah.
I think.
So what's the stagger value on those?
No, it might not have a grenade actually.
It might just be Vulcans.
No, it doesn't have grenade. It's just Vulcans.
So what's
2%?
2%? So 10?
Mm-hmm.
10. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes. Okay. I am of the excite right now. So anyway, reload 12 seconds instead of 18. That's definitely needed. It kind of felt bad when you fired all your cannon shots and you were just like, okay, now I'm just gonna stand around and wait a minute.
Dude, pokey and wait for that shit to come back. Like, oh, hold on.
So we'll see what this number changes to. I've pretty much found my general now, though. Just saying. At 400. Actually, there's a lot of generals I play at 400, but I found my cannon general at 400 for sure. And here we go. It got a nerf. Oh yeah.
Yeah, here it goes.
Boo. Oh Boo. Yeah.
Boo.
It got a nerf.
Boo.
I mean, the average win rate was 49%, and it has a 53.1% win rate, and pretty much the same exact stat for its second cost. The damage was like 10,000 or more.
What's the problem, sir?
Higher than the average. The rival win rate was also about 10% higher.
Camille!
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Camille!
Okay, maybe I'm salty just because I didn't get it, okay?
Camille-kun!
Maybe it's because I just didn't get the suit. I put like 20 boxes into that. I had my tokens saved up, and I was like, I got baited.
Jabodied.
This man was baited.
I was baited hard. Anyway,
Very upsetting.
so the meth is heavy. If you can't tell, it got nerfed. Honestly, as like a support player at, either using the Dom Barrage or they're always flying straight at you, trying to shoot you with those beams. So I'm just like missile vomit with the Dom Barrage. And I'm just like, okay, you're on the ground now. What? You're dead.
Good job. That's it.
But like for real, in space, I forgot how good this suit was. And yesterday I was like, oh yeah, by the way, Gustav. Wait, no.
It was probably Chad.
Yeah. Well, I think Chad talked about it, but before I actually played it yesterday. Because I brought it up yesterday night, but wait, not yesterday, 2 days ago. I keep saying yesterday for this stuff, but 2 days ago when I played with Aoshi too, we were playing space because that was space dailies, and the Thunderbolt Psychozaku is just insane in space now. But then I forgot the Methus Heavy exists, so never mind. There's
These nerfs are unwarranted. Camille!
Camille!
I just saw Camille. Oh man. Okay. I can't.
Fa just wanted one moment of greatness, and I took it away from her.
I can't even.
Bring it back.
The suit's still OP. Okay, it's 40% from 45. It's not that bad. It's a slap on the wrist for damage. Okay. The bazooka cooldown time. They just turned the bazooka.
I just imagining like the courtroom having to like pull him off the stage. It's not that bad, all right.
The cooldown time for the shots in between is 7 seconds now, which with how much damage that thing puts out, that's fine. You don't need you're not a comfer that's always just dealing damage. You're a comfer sometimes now. That's it. And adjusted the weapon switching time, which that could feel really bad. So I don't know. I don't have one, but it could feel really bad. So let me know. Somebody let me know. Let me know in the comments or something. Let me know how
that's
bad
increased by 0.7 seconds, by the way.
What?
It's increased by 0.7 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So like, yeah, it's
gotcha.
1.7 seconds. Yeah.
That's interesting. That could feel bad. But
just keep looking at it.
It's bad.
Oh my god. Come here. Real talk. If we can find a way to actually have that react sound and just have it like bop up and down, that'd be amazing.
I don't know what just happened. But like my like mic broke on this end for us laughing that loud, and it was like open mic'd. I don't know if it was like somehow having your audio come through or something, but that was weird, yo.
Okay, so real talk, I've been having that too, but it's been game audio instead of other voices.
Oh.
Every once in a while, I'll get notifications, and I don't know if that's because of the way we're sourcing our things. Yeah.
Okay. So
even though I have the game muted, so I shouldn't be getting any game audio. But I'm just hearing stuff like gameplay wise, and I'm like, how the hell is this happening? So I'm assuming it has to be a Discord thing with the way it's capturing something.
Yeah, it's either Discord or it's Streamlabs doing some weird things. But anyway, Methus Heavy. Yeah, it got nerfed. Let's see what happens. Let's see how many people.
It'll be fine though.
I think it's fine. Like the main power comes from the main damage numbers come from like its beam guns. Oh, and it's oh yeah, it also got another nerf. Never mind. Here we go. Here's the big nerf.
We'll keep going.
Here's the big nerf. Actually, here you go. Now you can rage at this one. Look at those raging eyes.
So mad.
Okay, so here we go. The actual
Okay.
big nerf. The big nerf where it got really bad. The heat rate doubled when it's transformed. That's
Oof.
actually a big deal. Like,
Yeah, so you only get like your burst down is a lot short.
so to give you guys an idea, if anybody wants to know how big of a deal this is, look at the heat rate from, say, the I'm trying to think of an actual good one that has damage. The Gelgoog Marine Commander beam rifle, how they changed its heat rate,
Mm.
or the one that's a little more applicable, the Shiki Zero. They pretty much halved its heat rate for 10% off or something. It was almost half. Anyway, now it just claps with how much beam awesomeness you can do, and the now this being doubled, that's a big hit. Now that is a big hit. So I'm really curious to see those damage numbers just drop next month.
Oh
So,
yeah, it's gonna fucking plummet because like right off rip when people were saying stuff in the chat yesterday about the changes, it's like, yep, Meth's dead. Like that was all it took. Because they were so heavy handed with it, right? Just
Oh, yeah.
overall.
I don't know. I feel like we'll still see it. The transformation thing is gonna be a little bit noticeable.
Mhm.
But like the damage reduction on the Mark II was also 5%. And I mean we still see it
It was a
everywhere.
slap on the wrist, yeah.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean,
So
it's
I don't
not
know.
like, I mean, but in this case though, it's like if you took off one of its
They've
melee
changed out
swings.
so many other things in terms of like how I don't know how far down the list we are compared to like the other stuff, but there's enough changed that it's just not gonna be able to do things as smoothly as it would before, output or no.
Yeah. But
You there. Like the ease of access might go down a little bit, but
Mhm.
I mean, I still think the suit's going to be usable and solid. I don't think it's dead though.
I
Put
would
it
say
this
it's like
way,
a,
despite the changes on the Gaza, it's also still a little rough, but people use that in spades anyway. So you always see at least a couple of those flying around. So the Methus being pretty high up right off rip and getting a slap on the wrist like this, people are still gonna run it. Like you're definitely right about that.
I mean the percentage I think is a slap on the wrist, but I think the transform thing is
Mhm.
a big deal. But
Yeah, the other aspects are
I would
a
compare
lot
it
more
to the
smash.
I can't remember what it's called. Donut. Laser donut.
Donut. Oh, Ashimar.
Arshimar, thank you. Yeah, I would compare it to the Ashimar.
Thanks for your help,
because
Fa.
oh, I was gonna ask if I had any other final words on
No, she's on the
Yeah.
balcony now.
Okay.
Looking wistfully at nothing.
But so yeah, I feel like it's gonna be comparable to the Ashimar now, which I think is a top tier suit anyway. So I don't think it's going anywhere really. But can't just like super spam barrage somebody as you approach them in transform mode.
Mhm.
Shucks.
Oh gosh darn.
So anyway, the Gelgu ground type BD at level 3 got 1,000 health. Level 2 and up, its arm grenade got a buff, which is cool. They increased the rate of fire,
Mhm.
and they reduced the recoil while jumping and on the move.
E.
So that's cool. Just to kind of skip ahead a little bit, they did the exact same thing for the support ground Gelgu.
Hmm.
Where is it? Oh, I went too far. And that's it. That's all they
What?
did. Is they just upped the grenade. They just apparently that uses the exact same grenade launcher, and that's
That's all.
all. That's the only support buff we got this
That's
time,
all it
guys.
took.
And
That's all
that
she wrote.
thing has a few more problems than that, but okay.
Mhm.
Port's
I'm
working as intended.
I'm gonna guess that the
Ooh.
ground Gogu support is gonna have almost no change for its actual numbers, but who knows? Maybe I'm crazy. Yeah. Anyway, back up. If you have any other thoughts on the ground VD, I mean, I guess that's cool at the level 3 health, but I don't think its arm grenade is anything really that it needs. And by the data, it's pretty
Hmm.
much performing as on average almost. So, cool, I guess. Apparently somebody that works at the studio really wanted to use that arm grenade launcher more.
Yep. Like, they were just doing like test sessions. We're like, this is bullshit. What is this? Why did we make it this way?
Yeah. Why does this weapon exist? You know, if they think about why weapons exist, they could change the chest missiles on the full armor Gundam to actually do something.
It's super overdue considering they bumped it and tried to like change it.
Oh my gosh, for real though. But anyway,
They're just like, these almost feel as crappy as the needle missiles. Like, oh god, buff it.
Oh no!
yeah,
that's
the par. Anything that feels bad as needle missiles, they gotta buff it. Just leave the needle missiles though.
Yeah, that's the standard.
Gotta be the
they got to keep the benchmark in. If they ever buff it, they would be confused on what the standard would be, so they got to leave it.
Yeah, because the beam standard has been adjusted now too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Keep going, Magnum.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay,
Zuda
So-
raid type stuff. Zuda got Ambac. Cool. Level 3 got 5 more speed, 5 more thrusters. Level 4 got force injector level 2, and it gained space specialization. Makes sense. And now we're back to seeing the sortie rate, which is actually kind of interesting. At 250, that's 15%. And at 400, it's 0.13. That's actually higher than I thought at 250, to be honest. You guys see him that much?
No. It's kind of unfortunate to see, though, numbers like this, because the Zuda is really one of the only examples of suits getting notably better in regards to their abilities. And, you know, it just kind of makes you wonder, like, if they did stuff, like, if the Zuda's in this situation and it literally has a, long range knee stagger, will it, like, maybe there's a reason why BB Studios doesn't make any adjustments because for like other suits, because it won't fucking change anything. Like this, the 400 has a less than 1% usage, man. Oh no,
that is really
like
brutal.
what's given the GM a dodge roll gonna do besides still make it unusable?
Because I guess that's the thing too, right? Like we talk about,
I just got dark.
saying that it's like, oh, it's not that great and stuff, but it's just like, for other suits, it's not just people saying they're not that great in the forums. They just been in the Shadow Realm for like a year plus. They ain't coming back from that.
Oof.
Like as much as they would have to push it so hard that people would have to notice that it's like almost busted, and then reel it back again, just so that people would pay attention to the suit.
Yeah, I feel you.
So, nothing else for the Zuda. The next one is the Saikamu Zaku.
I will say though, just one little touch up here. I think that the data they're referencing is space only for the Zuda. So there's also consideration.
Oh, because of the preference that they threw on there too. So
what even mentioned in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned space a lot here. So
can't hit for ASR, just use your machine gun, guys.
Oh, God. Oof.
So with the Saikamu, the turn speed was increased by 3. 54. Increased the movement speed while moving up and down, and increased the movement from inertia from stopping downward movement. So that's kind of cool. So
would you say that it's a little bit more viable with the bazooka at least? Just because it has that extra movement going on for it?
I think you're thinking of the Psycho Zaku. This is the funnily one, not the Daryl Lawrence one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is Zeong.
Oh,
This is
thank
the
you.
first form of the Zeong.
Yeah.
So then it's 5 barrel hand particle cannons. The heat rate was reduced to 35% instead of 40%. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you still have to kind of get in there and punch with it, but it's I mean, the people that, like, every time I see one in space that somebody's just really good with it, like, they're insane to deal with. Like, it's just crazy.
It's a lot of fun to play. I wish it wasn't bad.
So it might feel a little wonky to some people who are already playing it because they changed how it moves a little bit. But once they get it down, like it being faster at moving, it's already insanely fast at moving. So
Yeah, it is.
if it can do that even more, like that's insane. So
It's definitely a suit that I've enjoyed a lot. And actually, like when I run it, and it's probably just me leaving extra damage on the to be honest. I tend to just be so focused on throwing out my hands and then just like blasting him out with the actual 5 barrel because it just has so much input or output especially since it's more condensed compared to the bishop.
yeah.
That I find that it's pretty easy to just melt certain suits. Especially at the cost ranges that it's included now.
And then now you can actually, that playstyle actually just got buffed too, which is why I think they did that.
So that'll be interesting to take that out again.
I mean, that's pretty much kind of what they say here, is so you can actually fire more.
Mm-hmm.
And we already covered the support. So here we go. And I tried this yesterday. This is sexy. Here we go. Here's the real buffs that we need to talk about.
No.
Zaku machine gun long barrel.
Yeah.
Took that out.
They gotta make the bad weapons playable, man.
Dude, it is so good. It is so good, man. Dude. No, for real though. I went out in the Zaku sniper. Woo! It was good. It was real good.
I'm seeing it more in the field too, like on that jungle map. They were whipping it out. I was like, that's not a cannon. Do. Oh damn.
Oh yeah. And like the damage is like they buffed the damage of it from 375 to 450. That's 75 damage per shot at all levels. And they expanded the ASL so it's easier to hit. That's pretty good.
Help.
The win rate on it was pretty low, but the thing is, the usage was only 1.8%, 0.5%, and 0.2% at the 3 different levels.
Yeah, so they didn't have a very good margin to spread that out on.
For the Recon Zaku, though. So that's the suit that it was kind of looking like it's more of a design for. And the sortie rate for the Zaku 1 sniper using that was 0.3, 0.19, and 0.11.
The Zaku 1 sniper is like god tier mains though. Like who would ever want to use the Zaku long barrel?
I was gonna say like me because
Some
I can't aim.
people
The Magella top is so disgusting.
I can't aim the Magella. I suck. Okay, I need my ASL long barrel. But anyway, the good news is
I just like snapshotting, and it's just kind of funny to catch people and they just get fucked up. So the extra output because of the type advantage just makes it even funnier. So they're like, "Ow, what the fuck was that?"
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, that was
not good.
It's staggered accumulation. So it's the other thing is it breaks maneuver armor. So any raid coming at me, I'm just like,
it's pretty fun.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the Magella top cannon stops that maneuver armor real quick. You don't even have to play around, man. There's already been doing that.
Wait, but here's my argument. Here's my argument. Okay, Magella tank top, boom, and then I have to. What am I gonna do? I gotta punch you, right?
No, man. Use your Sturmfaust.
The ready up time isn't
real
the
time.
Ready up time. The ready up time sucks on the Sturmfaust.
It's not punch. It's shoulder lean, and it actually has an advancing downswing that people love whipping out on that suit.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Instead of punch, you tackle him. But anyway,
give him that shoulder.
But okay, but hear me out here. Okay, Magella, from long range, I see this raid. Me and him make eye contact. I'm like, oh no, right? Say they use some terrain to get a little closer, and now we're mid range. I pop them with that Magella. If their maneuver armor is active, they don't get knee staggered. They just get staggered. And I'm like, oh no, it's bad.
Oh no.
The Sturmfaust takes too long to ready up to just follow up with that unless I full knee stagger them. So I got to catch them at the right moment. Fair enough. There's that. But if I have the long barrel, stun from forever away. Then they're like, okay, well I'm gonna move stun. Then they're like, okay, I'm gonna move stun. Then I'm gonna stun. And
I don't know, Magnum. I feel like you could do the same thing with either gun.
Spamming support me. and then everybody dogpiles on him before he can even get to me.
I guess his point is just like the interval between firing just
Yeah.
makes it a bit more like frustrating for them to get.
I
through
gotcha.
You can fire at them and stagger them more than the Magella.
Mhm.
But the thing is, the Magella, I would kind of agree. Actually, I would completely agree that you could just
Mhm.
pop them if they get really close and they stop. If they don't have any way to actually get to you and just actually melee you, and they're going to run out of thrust and they have to stop,
Mhm.
then when they do that stop motion, you pop them, knee stagger them, hit them with the stern fouls, tackle them, and then run away. And then you can do that pretty much infinitely to them as they try to approach you. So there is that, but I just like to annoy them more. I don't know. So
I think you could
that
do
tilt
both
in there.
well with either the two weapons,
Yeah,
honestly.
and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's
Because,
definitely the
like-
point of the adjustment too, so that you can do that
Mhm.
a little bit easier while having more output.
Because any of the stopping power that you have is going to make them have to restart their boost if they're advancing on you, which consumes a lot of base thrust. So I mean, by the
Mhm.
time they get to you, they're not going to have boost anyway. So like I feel like both examples are valid. Like you would probably get a similar situation with both guns. And I mean, I
Mhm.
feel like in that case, you would just ready up to Sternfaust as soon as you fire the first shot. And by the time he advances far enough to get to you, he's probably out of thrust. And you probably just want to time it right so that when they're just as they're in your face stopping, you just hit him with Sternfaust and catch him out of their maneuver armor or something. And by then your cannon's probably ready to go as well, or something like that. But I don't know. I think, like I said, I think both would work out pretty similar
I mean,
in that regard.
I am slightly memeing because if I had to recommend something to somebody, I'd be like Magella is
Mhm.
definitely the
Yeah,
better one.
just whip out the
But
cannon.
because of the memes and because of how I used to, I mean, this was one of the suits that carried me through the ranked 350 that they had back in the day. By the way, guys, did you know
Mhm.
we used to have ranked modes or an actual ranked event that would happen?
Infinitely in to be determined. So sad.
But so I like it. I love this change. I'm definitely going to play the Recon. I've been really wanting to play the
Mm.
Recon Zaku just because I'm like, I feel like I could do well with this since I've been playing the Isaac and having the
Mhm.
having to do the machine gun into grenade and stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe I could actually play the Recon Zaku, and now I've just got to play the Recon Zaku.
I'm assuming that like the Recon Zaku has also gotten like, a bit of a in terms of its usage, just because he had the lack of visibility in aquatic maps on top of stealth stuff now. So you're having people starting to pop more pictures and just wanting things that can pepper stuff from afar so that they can like test out certain spots and know where things are. So like this will definitely be a good boost for that suit in general.
But yeah, I'm pretty hyped. So with that weapon, we also got a new. Oh wait, hang on. I mean, this is cool. But this isn't as cool as the next one coming after this. I
Right.
think.
The other one's stupid, but like
So the which apparently I think they added this because when I looked at it last night, we couldn't figure out which Fadine rifle it was,
Mhm.
and now that it actually shows Marasai equipped and GM
Damn.
Nightseeker V, not
That was
5.
there. That was there last night. When I looked at it, Magnum.
Really?
I know
Yeah.
because we were talking back and forth about like which one it was.
Yeah, because I was trying to be like, is it the Marasai?
Well, they both use the same gun.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is, like, I want to. I mean, maybe I'm just blind. Maybe I was just blind last night, but I don't.
I know when I
remember them
looked at
saying
it, it showed all
Marasai.
the same stuff. Like
I was doing the Japanese
I'm
one
pretty
too,
sure.
I guess. So
That might have been what it
okay.
was too for the
I was
Genzaku.
definitely on English.
yeah, so I was on the JP. I wonder if that's weird. Anyway, but the Marasai, so it's that one, and the GM Nightseeker V, which I learned actually stands for Yazan's alter ego that he went by or whatever, something. He changed his
Yeah,
name. Or,
Mr.
Vas
Violator, no.
something.
yeah, so, but, yeah. So, but like we like to call it, GM Nightseeker Violator, but,
Or Crab Claw.
The claim. These
But,
kills the claim.
So the prototype rifle heat rate was improved, so from 55% to 50%. Overheat cooldown time to 12 seconds from 15. And this is big. Focusing time 1 second instead of 1.5. And they reduced the heat rate during focus firing.
That's crazy.
Down 10%. It was
Okay.
95, now it's 85.
I was going to ask that.
Ayy.
That's pretty good. And the
Don't worry, I was looking all this up while you were talking about last month's suits.
He's on
Production
the ball.
quality.
Level 2 power got increased from 2415 to 2500. So that's pretty nice. But so yeah, what do we think about that? I mean, other than cool, I don't have either of the suits, so I can't really say.
Might be a joke for
Jason
it.
Make It doesn't stand still.
I mean, the 1 second
I haven't
thing is
gotten
nice,
a chance to mess with them yet, but it's definitely exciting because like, the Marsa in particular I've been trying to do the fitting with, and it does feel a little rough tended just to be smooth with it, especially when it's a pretty frail suit compared to other things that it's caused. So just being able to do things a bit faster and having more output will be nice.
But it'll be cool. They just need to let you go and walk with it. If I just stand still, stupid.
Yeah, the scary part's gonna be people doing even more with the V now.
Oh yeah, for real. That thing's terrifying.
But it, you know, for people who didn't want to run just the regular BR, it's a nice change. You can just kind of do the more typical initiate stuff faster because of the charge change.
So here's the big one, guys. The beam gun. Which I was like,
Yeah.
what is the beam gun?
Yeet.
Because
The
again,
ultimate thing.
again, I was in the Japanese translation, so I'm like, is that even a
It's
weapon?
else. It was like very
Unfortunately.
So I got to try the beam gun yesterday as a 300 cost armor GM, which actually has range preference as far as its damage goes. That was sexy. Going from 830 damage to 1,100, and that
That's
increase
noticeable.
happened at all levels, and the heat rate went down to 45%. I pretty much had a ton of shots. I almost never overheated it, and I would swap and throw a grenade, and then shoot and throw a grenade, and then finally get close enough to be like, smack. And do we know the stagger ratio on that thing? Is there any at all?
There's no. Unfortunately, I'm not sure the difference in the increase in shoot speed. But sorry, go ahead, Gustav.
I will say that the interval, even though they do, and we'll get into it a little bit more later, but they do speed it up. I did a full volley on something in practice, and it still wasn't enough to stun anything by itself. But it does
45%
visually flinch stuff.
Stagger ratio is what? Say that again, sorry.
45%.
What's this grenade for like the armor GM? I don't know if you have that pulled up.
I've got armor GM up. Where the hell is that thing? There it is. 30%.
Okay, that's not bad. So you can definitely combo that for a stagger and then go in for melee. Because I still feel like, you know, you got the Dom melee style, which is pretty good. Definitely good to follow up. I was following up. I was pretty much, you know, being that extra. I mean, the armor GM is really tanky, so I could just get in there anyway in front line while shooting at people. But at the same time, I could brawl when I needed to. If somebody else got a stagger or helped me get a stagger, I could just swap and smack. But the yeah, it was. I mean, it was great. So good. Do I think this is gonna bring back the GM command? I'm pretty sure you just want a bazooka melee with that thing. Still.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah. I mean, people still run it, and I'm definitely gonna mess with it just because I don't have any reason to run it compared to others that I have. But it's been funny on the armored. I did a actually ended up in 4th place, like decent output too.
Oh yeah, that game I had last night was great. Even while intoxicated. So, the GM Striker Kai I think will benefit from that a little bit too. Just because the bullet speed is really fast. I mean, it was pretty much like point shoot hit. It was great. like, and the hit detection where it's been expanded, like that's amazing. So like there was very few missed shots, unless I just literally was outside the ASL and actually missing.
Mhm.
But the Striker Kai can only use what, the bullpup and the 100mm otherwise.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I think this might be a better option for the
Oh,
Striker Kai. Because what is 3 shots to stagger? I mean, it takes a little time in between, so you might have to do 4 or something. So I don't know. It's probably about the same feeling as far as,
Are you talking about the beam gun?
yeah, it would be
the
3
beam gun,
total.
Can a
my thing
Striker
about
Kai use that?
yeah,
Yeah.
it can. I don't know why it
Oh,
can, but it
wow.
can. But my thing is,
Sorry, I guess I
like,
just negated its existence. Sorry.
the firing rate is still so slow that it doesn't feel like that accumulation actually stays. So
Yeah, that's the problem.
on paper, it should, but because it's still so slow, it's not staggered. Shit.
Hmm.
It still
why.
has to have something else on them. So in
Yeah.
your typical murder ball situation, you'll have time to do that. But by yourself, hell no. So like when you talk about raid stuff, right? You're not supposed to be like super YOLO solo, but like you still have to be able to initiate on your own and catch people. So that's still gonna be a hard time.
GM
But
Sniper
it
2
still
can
has
use
the
it.
yep. I did do that, and it's funny because it scales next to its melee. Like the melee and the lower cost actually does more. And then by the end it's still doing more, but they're a lot closer together by like 450 or higher. But at the same time, you're also trading that stun. Not to mention things at higher cost don't really have that same kind of resistance lacking for the beam weapons. So you're probably still better off doing the bullpup or the rifle, but it is something you can do a bit more without people kind of face palming too hard. I wouldn't do it still though, at least for the sniper too.
Yeah, the Sniper 2, I don't think. I mean, that's just a meme. I figured I'd try
Yeah.
it if their cost is up and I'm might be drinking again or something. I probably would do it. That the only other way would if somebody paid, like 7,000 points to request that specifically with that weapon. But so that would be that. Um, but yeah, the armor GM is definitely the winner here out of these. Again, I don't think the GM command, because its melee is so good, it's the low cost Mark II essentially.
Mhm.
So yeah, but really
That being
cool.
said, I'd be interested in them including the beam gun on more suits
Yes,
as a result.
yes. But I mean, this gives me hope that they're going to buff some of the other random guns that kind of just straight up suck. I mean, they already touched the Agzaku machine gun.
Right.
That thing feels good. I'm
It
just saying.
does. It's true.
I just would like other suits to be able to use it because, I mean, it's okay on the Agzaku, but yeah. And then this is very interesting. So people who use Grandpa Gundam rejoice. Oh, and the Hyper Hammer, but Hyper Hammer cooldown from 5 seconds to 4 seconds, and they increased the correction, so the damage on left, right, and down swings. What?
So that's the modifier.
Yeah.
It's up to 120% on side swings from 75, which is pretty noticeable. Downswing damage is up to 200% from 180. So you'll do double damage with a confirmation on a downswing. And that side swing damage is relevant. Like,
Yeah.
that's not too shabby.
Sorry, what was the downswing again?
200%, baby.
Oh,
That is
golly.
insane.
The neutral is still 100%. So, like, side swings and the side swing's pretty fast too. I mean, it might just make the neutral just completely worthless for the most part.
Now, this next part here, I don't know if
Hmm.
this is on the wiki at all, but apparently,
It is.
so how much damage does it deal to shields now?
You do full damage. It used to be half. Now you do full damage.
For the G hammer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, speaking of which, Cars is like, speaking of other suits, weapons on suits, give the G hammer to the GM Kai and the.
Dude, they should give it to the G3. That thing
Yeah,
would be
for
a
real.
murder machine with the hyper
It's
hammer.
stupid
like,
that they don't have
God.
interchangeable stuff. Like that should totally be a thing that you can do with those.
Yeah, the G3
I think
needs
every Grandpa Gundam, like literal Grandpa Gundam,
Mhm.
every version of it should be able to use the hyper
Share
hammer.
each
Like
other's
Proto,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, Proto G3, like
Shit,
let
even
it
the
use the hyper
Javelin.
hammer.
I mean, even the Proto, you probably still want to
Yeah,
use the
Javelin too.
dual beam.
If anything, the G3 should have been a dual wielder anyway.
I don't know, Magnum. Like people forget that the hyper hammer has this cool little ability where you can fucking swing and you don't get counterattacked.
can't get countered, yeah.
I'll take it.
But I mean,
especially
like,
with 200% range modifier, just get close
you mean
to
just
people.
because of the reach? Because I mean, if they like circumvent it and still tackle at you and make contact, it'll still do it.
No, you can't get
okay,
countered while you're using a hyper hammer.
Yeah, you can.
Like you can spin it.
No, you can't. You
I
can't
don't
get countered
think
at
you
all.
can.
No, there's no counter
Like
at all.
you could be like mid spin and someone tackles into you, they just bounce off awkwardly.
No, there's
like,
no.
I'm pretty sure.
You just tackle into them, and then that's cool. You're like, okay, cool. You dealt tackle damage to me. Now let me turn around and shoot you or something. Like that's like you can't actually. You're a tank essentially. I don't think you actually get knocked down though, like a tank does. But
It's just like if you get tackled while you're heat rotting. From my experience,
does it actually interrupt your animation?
it does.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No,
Never mind.
you don't get any of the downside aside of normal tackle.
Yeah, like it's the regular stun as opposed to like the damage and the downswing. If that's the case.
Yeah.
But okay, so yeah, I forgot if you got interrupted or not. But yeah, so I mean that's all it is. It's just like if you get tackled by somebody normally, it's just the tackle damage and the stagger.
Yeah. Being able to react is a big difference to being face first on the ground.
I'm actually kind of tempted
just
to test that because I feel like I've been countered while trying to run that before.
Let me know. I like I said, from my experience, I haven't been countered. And I believe that's how it works. But if you find it to be different, just let me know.
I have to like run at somebody like next match, just find a spot
I
I
was
can
gonna
put grab it and like counter me, come here.
I was gonna say,
This
Gustav, do you want to actually test this live right now?
We could. I want to know. I'm in a match right now though.
How long?
why I
How
was
long?
Like 6 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can put it on my PlayStation.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys aren't in one, then you guys can test it out.
We can start setting this
Yeah,
up.
I wanna.
So we will.
I want to
test
know
that.
because like if that's the case, then like all the more reason that I'm justified to use taper.
I mean, that's what I've told people. I'm like, yeah, the hyper hammer is crazy on Grandpa Gun. I'm like, that's the best part about Grandpa Gun with the hyper hammer. That I don't see why you would use anything else. But so that's pretty much. So I'll go ahead and get that set up. I'm already in the game, and I'll shoot you an invite emblem. And then, but yeah, guys, let me go ahead and change the topic though. Well, since that's the end of the buffs and stuff, we'll go ahead and start our new suit speculation, and then we'll just add this in as a bonus here. And then actually looks like this episode is going to be part 1 and 2.
We went long for sure.
Yep. So new suit? Question mark. What are we thinking next week's suit is going to be? I was sad we didn't get the O, but
yeah, same.
We weren't gonna get the O. That was too easy.
Would have been too much.
Yeah, you gotta bait us.
Okay, so we got to raid this time.
500 in clan match, by the way, just as a point reference for anybody. I'll say that. I'll say for General Hazel.
Yeah.
This one's for you, Aoshi. As far as I don't know. I can really think of what else we would put in. Support, we'll say Slave Ray full armor. And give me I'll have to touch back on raid. I don't know.
I mean we just had a raid, so they can't put in a raid.
That's true. I mean, raid I still want to be the
yeah, it's not
they
likely.
do another one, but like Yeah, it's
In
gonna
that
be a
case, it
little
would be the
bit.
Barbados Lupus Rex.
I'll
my God.
gladly be proven wrong. So I'm gonna say there's no raid
Like
next
if
week.
that mobile game finally launches and in the hangar, and they're like, "Why isn't the suit a banner suit then?"
Here, man, do you want to send me an invite?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Mhm.
Oh shit!
So the here's my guess. I'll go with the Hazel for general because I want to see a support. And sadly, if it's not 650 though, that's the thing. I'm kind of wanting to see like the mass production QBLA be the 650.
Linear.
Zusa maybe. What cost do you think the Zusa would be, guys?
Hmm.
I can see it squeezing in at 500.
Yeah, 500, 550.
Okay, yeah, I could deal with that. Okay, Zusa 500. Let's go.
That thing's like meme-tastic though. I
It's
feel
so
like that's
funny.
gonna be an event suit.
It's just a giant ammo rack waiting to happen.
Exactly, man. I can intensify all the barrages.
Where is Grandpa got him?
It's Grandpa.
Oh, there
Hi,
it is.
Grandpa.
Oh, cool. I already had a hyper hammer equipped because I'm a person of class. All right.
Yes. Hell yeah,
Oh
civilized
my! I just
weapon
looked at
too.
the level 5 hyper hammer. 3,180 damage.
Deeps.
Remember, guys, 200% on the downswing now.
Fucking gross.
Ow. Let me just
I'm ready
equip
when you are,
my
Magnum.
melee program 5 here. 1 sec. Hang on.
That's probably because people were doing like side swipes and stuff a lot more. Just trying to like run into crowds and like everyone's stunned. It's like, nah, we want you to downswing.
Okay.
Here you go.
Downswing's the main way to go anyway, though. Just because you can deal the damage on the
That
initial
reel
lineup.
back, yeah.
Okay, you might have to come to me. I'm going to be setting up on my end. But anyways, so that Zusa, I think I'll go with the Zusa 500. Let's go with that. That sounds good. Now let's hope the remote play does not break everything.
Oh.
Then we'll be good to go.
I'm coming.
Okay, let me turn the volume off on this because that's a little loud. But yeah, Gustav, what's your 2 picks? And I say 2 picks because if there's a raid next week, then I don't know. I'll give you $10 if you guess the raid correct.
Raid mains unite.
I was gonna say if it is the raid, then Neo. But for the general, also Neo.
Okay, there we go. It's muted.
I actually want this Zissa now that we've talked about it. Like,
dude,
that would
I've
be
been wanting
better.
that thing. Like, I can't think of any other supports that I actually want though right now that don't already exist.
That's gonna be, and this is kind of something we've talked about before. I feel like it was more in the vein of like, what series are they gonna pull for next back
So
in the
now you
day?
ready,
But
Magnum?
like, in terms of supports, like I do wonder what they're gonna get.
Are you gonna
that
swing, or do
camp.
you want me to? Are you gonna tackle, Magnum?
We'll do both. You swing first.
Okay. Let me step back a little bit. Just go ahead and tackle at me.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw it, but I started to wind up on my side, and you
Yeah.
just bounced on me.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's do it one more time. Only you start the swing because you do the wind up. I've got time to tackle on the wind up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just tackled in, did 600 damage. So my turn. So you tackle first this time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, just started and then boom. That might have been soon enough. Try it one more time.
I'll let you know when I tackle too. All right. I am now tackling. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
that works too. Works the other way.
That was the other way around. So yeah. So you cannot get countered while hyper hammering.
Interesting.
It is official. Yeah. And so, my shield. My shield. What?
I did full
What?
damage.
What? My shield just
What
died
happened?
in one hit.
Oh no!
What
My
shield?
shield just. Oh, what? No. No.
Uh oh.
Come here. Bruh. Did I?
My
What?
shield!
I side swung and broke the shield. What is that? Oh
That's
my
pretty
gosh,
rough.
guys. Okay, well, spoilers, but here in a minute we'll be playing some Grandpa Gundam. No big deal.
Uh-oh.
Where's my grenade launcher? It's not on my weapon
I have
swaps.
to
There we go.
Gotta get back on this.
Oh,
I'm
what? How
definitely
did I
doing
miss you?
I do not need to swing.
totally not doing a 400 match with
Oh.
just for shits. And
Nope.
what was that?
It was me missing horribly.
Oof.
Grenade, 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 grenade. I mean, I'm not doing a grenade. Haha. Got him. Smack. Oh,
Oh.
I missed. Oh, I
Oh,
almost
too
missed this
close.
Thing. I was too
Oh,
close.
too off.
Haha. Boom. On your Vulcans.
Oh my goodness. That's like right to your side and then like behind you.
Oh no, I definitely missed horribly. Ah! Oh wait, you know what? I got an idea.
Experience these amazing sounds and more at EG Magnum.
Oh no!
What?
No,
Oh, I
you're
got you on the way
first.
back. Yes, correct. Oh wait, the ready up time takes forever. Where is my? There we go. That's how I get to that. Hey, let's talk about this.
Mm.
Oh, yeah! Boom!
Oh,
Yes. Okay. Shenanigans
we were
done.
just showing that the counter doesn't happen with the hammer out.
Yeah, so it is confirmed. It is cool. Ugh, it was so good. Oh, nice. Saw chat. But anyway, oh. Hopefully you don't get any,
We'll find out.
that doesn't count against you anywhere. But anyway, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, I know what I'm playing here in a little bit. That was quite a bit of fun. I mean, for real though, breaking a shield in one hit though.
It's pretty
Yeah, there's not
nutty.
too many that would survive a hit from the hyper hammer now.
I just kind of want to see the level 5 Grandpa take on an MLRS shield.
That'd be interesting, just to be there to be a shield buster. Ow.
Dude, that would be actually. Hang on, what is that? Level 5 damage, 3,180. So if you take 3,180, and you can get it up to probably at least. I mean, with a new melee program, you're talking 60%, something around there. At least, maybe 70. Let's just say 70%. Plus, it's 200% on a downswing. So you're talking like, and I don't know if they're multiplicative or additive, but let's just assuming additive, like that's close to 9k damage. Just straight up. That's like 2 swings, depending on if you can get even more damage than that. And if it's multiplicative, that's like 1.5 swings to kill an MLRS shield with a general. Like what? Okay, well, I'm hyped now. But anyway, guys, any other new suit stuff? If not, we can go ahead and go to some shoutouts. Sounds good.
Sorry, I was doing this and stuff and things.
And all that, what have you.
If we have $10 on the line, I wanna redo my raid pick real quick.
Hang on. We got $10. Okay, hang on.
Talking about money.
Back to new suit real quick. Back to new suit. Okay, got it. Hang on. Let me just change it back. Rolling it back. Okay, $10 on the line. What are you calling?
I was wondering why I sounded doubly, but okay. We will say shoot, it's 500. I say that, but I don't really have anything in mind. That one Zeta suit. All right, we're just gonna meme out there. Zaku head Zeta.
Okay. You know what?
Because it's a Zeta in a Halloween costume.
Okay, so I'll take my own bet. Just because I'm saying something different from you guys. I'm gonna go with the I forget what it's called now. Never mind. Actually, that might be a general. What's the other one from Katana that everybody keeps talking about?
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's
Yeah.
Zeku.
No. It's got a crazy name, and the only thing popping in my head is Dullahan, but I know it's not Dullahan because
Oh, is it the headless one with the giant chain sword? No, I think that's from Crossbone.
No, that's
No,
it's like, come on. I know there's somebody that's in chat that always mentions it, but I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, that one from
the
Katana.
one suit.
You know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. The one that fights the striker custom or whatever. We're gonna have to look this up.
Oh my god.
Of course, the only thing that I'm seeing is like striker custom. Thank you. Hang on.
Now,
wait for
Battle
it.
Operation 2.
Characters. There we go. Earth Federation, Striker Custom. Come on, where's it at? Okay, here we go. Zaku 1, Kai. The Gromlin. What in the world? Got distracted by whatever that was. Okay, I'm actually not seeing it here. Am I crazy?
It never existed to begin with. Woo!
Well, what in the world is Kaiser of Dragon?
So that's not gonna be in the game. Feels bad, man. That sounds cool.
Oh, it's a battle. It's a battleship. Okay, I was like, what? What is this? Oh, there we go. Aoshi, I count on you. Dolmel.
The Domo.
Okay,
Yeah. Mecha's always wigging out about it too. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Dolmel there.
I count on you, Aoshi. That thing. Yeah.
It has a lot of weapons.
I mean, we talked about it might be a general, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's say that's toe beam. It really has a toe beam. What in the world?
I mean, those seed suits have freaking like leg beam
Foot
sabers.
essentially.
Yeah, but that's C, man. But anyway.
Keep your
Okay,
nonsense
so-
out of my UC.
So maybe Domel is like probably not a raid, but oh well. I'm just gonna say that just for funniness. But anyway, guys, there we go.
Funnies.
Okay, now anything else, or are we doing some shoutouts?
Let's shout and let it all out.
I'm surprised we've never actually had that been spoken on here yet. All I'm saying.
All right, I got us covered.
These are the things that we meme about.
Can you do? I was gonna say.
All right, that's
Sorry.
the extent to that song I know from the commercial that would always play.
Come out. I'm
during my
talking
youth.
to you.
So I got nothing else for you on that front.
Okay, well, Gustav knows.
Yeah.
Count on you, Gustav. But anyway, what do you got going on, Gustav?
Apparently, I've been put into a team on PlayStation, and I need to block everyone in that group.
You're so
in
good.
the middle of
Gustav,
the
I wanted to
fucking
play with you.
podcast, and they're just like sending messages to each other, and they have no idea.
Didn't they? I thought
For
you couldn't.
fuck's sake.
I thought you couldn't do that now, or was that the problem? That you could do that now,
Mhm.
and like, there's almost no way that like you gotta like.
I think it's because I already
something.
added him through customs or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm in there. He just like put me into a team, and I'm just like, bruh, shut up and try to do stuff. But for us, like I was saying earlier, we're going through Iron Blooded Orphans Gecko, the side story for that in Cross Rays. And then once that's done, we'll be moving on to what is it, Streets of Kamurocho, that beat 'em up version, and then from there, Yakuza 3 will be our next one in terms of our secondary game. But besides that, just going through GBO2, hoping that I actually get banner suit. That I got that Keyblade on the single spin today. Kind of broke that streak from earlier.
Noise.
Trying to start it back up.
Oh god, no!
No.
Don't say.
Man, I thought it was going to happen again after like and again this was the recorded boxes, but 190 plus without a gold box streak. Like that was like I don't feel so bad when I get like the one spin 7th and the 1 spin full custom that I did last week. But cool. Emblem.
I am GamingEmblem. I stream on Twitch, where we play video games on the internet, like Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation, Genshin Waifu Impact. I still play Phantasy Star Online 2, but it's mostly offline, and I do dailies, just getting ready for new game or the new Genesis to come out. I'm gonna try to dabble in some more gaming things and all that good jazz, which you can catch me at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. I posted a single video to YouTube yesterday. You can find all the Dullahan locations or watch Magnum's video, whatever. We do that sometimes occasionally. But, video games, fun on the internet. Wow, GamingEmblem, go. And all that jazz.
Hey.
And as always, I'll have everybody's information and stuff down in the description below. But anyway, guys, I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch, have a Discord, Twitter, stuff and things. I gonna be playing more of Ghost of Tsushima tomorrow. I plan on doing more story for Genshin, or if it sucks me in too much, playing a ton of Ghost of Tsushima New Game Plus on Lethal Plus, which makes it apparently even harder than Lethal. I don't know exactly what that entails. I don't know if I just die faster or everything just dies faster. I don't know. I haven't actually looked up the details on that, so we'll figure that out tomorrow. And then depending on how much I get into that, like I said, I'll be trying to do Genshin Impact Story and finally catch up, because I think I'm only like AR 28 or something like that, or 26. Because I want the better loot. And yeah, you get a lot better loot and a lot more of the lower loot drops the higher AR you get, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, speaking of Phantasy Star Online 2, I also have been trying to catch up on that offline. It's kind of funny that too many games, man. Too many games.
And we're gonna have even more for the holidays.
Oh my gosh. Like Cyberpunk coming up. I mean, like right now I'm wanting to play Hades, and yeah, so much other stuff that I want to play. I need to catch up on
Dragon's
Path of Exile.
Gonna be getting busted out soon in the States.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Like, so yeah, again, coming up, Gustav, let me know if you want to play that Streets of
Kamurocho,
yeah. And then every Monday now, I'm doing essentially a evil campaign on the new Baldur's Gate 3 game with some friends. So
is that accessible now? Like, I thought it was early access, because that looks fun. I want to play it too.
It's early access. So
how do you get access?
Oh my god!
You buy it. But the thing is, the way Larian
does, is that it? Okay.
The way Larian does early access is it's they're definitely going to finish the game, and they're definitely going to have a very quality game. Right now, the game's already fantastic to play. I'm loving it so far. The first episode is actually already uploaded on YouTube. I just need to put it live. I still haven't come up with an actual title, but I think I'm gonna actually. Did I already put that up? I might have already made it live. It could be. So I could be crazy right now, but I'm pretty sure I might have already put it up live. So if you want to watch our first episode, it is there. But again, we're doing that every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on Twitch. Wednesday is the tabletop run for Gundam. And Thursday, of course, is the podcast. Next week, we're going to be doing an extra special thing for the podcast. And right now, the option that we've come up, or the idea that we've come up with, is doing an AMA. So We're going to be getting questions from our communities and stuff. So anybody who has a question, and then we'll also take some questions from chat, I guess. I'm just going to have my point thing on, and anybody that, if you guys have a point thing too or whatever, we can do it that way or whatever. We can actually figure out those details. But try to get some questions and stuff, and anybody put in some questions, and we'll ask each other the questions and stuff, or answer questions that were specifically to us at the time. So that'll be fun, and that's next week's podcast. I mean, we'll go over the other stuff as usual, but that'll be the extra topic we'll do, because it's been over a year now, and my bad, I kind of missed the date of the anniversary of the podcast, but yeah, so it's been over a year. Woot woot.
Big oops, but also hooray.
Poggers.
Yeah. But and then I don't know what I'm doing Tuesday, but there's that, and weekend is always random as usual. Hopefully, last thing, I hopefully will have a background and stuff right over there, and
Cool.
then we'll have community point goals for if you want me to sit here on the couch, or we'll have another community goal for just the couch, which means I need to play a lot of GBO2 and record it so that the couch can play, and it's definitely not me playing. And for the Halloween, the couch might talk if we can get it done by then.
Oh my god. Virtual couch, VR couch.
Might have a crazy, scary voice or something. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Leave us a comment down below of what you'd like to hear us talk about in the future and what you thought about what we talked about today. But anyway, that'll be it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.
I'm over here trying to be waifus, and Magnum's literally a couch, man. I gotta get my VTuber game up.
Yep. He's the waifu, I'm a goose. Now
Ouch.
Magnum's gonna be a couch.